Morning glory, evening grace, brother and sisters. Great to have everybody back along with us here with Temperance Awakening. And also look forward here to our 12th vaping lecture, looking at day 5 of our quit. 12th lecture overall. And today we're going to be looking at assembling your quit team. Assembling your quit team. And you know, us as humans, we are communal creatures by nature. You know, we like communicating with other people. We like relationships, and we thrive whenever we work together and we share our experiences and our abilities with other people. You know, we need other people in our lives who care about us, with whom we can share our problems and who will support us when we need it. You know, the buddy system does work. That's why you should keep your problems to yourself. If you need help, you should ask for it. You know, with strong, positive support around you, your commitment will be much easier to sustain, and your quit's going to go a lot more smoothly, so you need to assemble a quit team. Start with your family, particularly if you're married. Your spouse should be there, or somebody you're in a relationship with, then your parents and your siblings. Like a really huge body of literature supports the involvement of family members in recovery. You know, that's, for anybody in recovery, somebody quitting vaping, tobacco, alcohol, drugs, or whatever, the involvement of family members, really help. And on your team, you want people who support your quit without judgment, demands, or abuse of other substances. So, we don't want these people to be overly judgmental toward you. These need to be people that have compassion as well. And, you can look to your peers, specifically, maybe your closest non-vaping friends or friends who have quit successfully. They can certainly offer inspiration and hold you accountable. Like in a number of research studies, participants who had a quit buddy were 3 times more likely to quit successfully. So if somebody wants to give up vaping too, suggest quitting together, going through this program with you. Then at the same time, you do need to break some ties with friends or relatives or whatever who vape, or at least avoid them when they're puffing. I know it can be difficult to completely, abstain from those people, but at least, whenever they're puffing, don't be around. Steer clear of vape-using friends, and that'll help you change your identity from a vapor to an ex-vapor. Might be hard to withdraw from a social circle that encourages or tolerates the habit, but, you have to resist the temptation. And if necessary, develop a plan to avoid that group. And you've already shared the good news that you're quitting, so remind your friends and loved ones that you're serious, and then plan activities with them that will help you not to vape. And give them the power, to stop you from asking for a puff in moments of craving. It might annoy you when they say no or try to interrupt you, but you'll thank them in the long run. Then maybe also consider joining a support group, particularly the one that we have here. Be a part of this group, of this online group, and you can also be a part of other ones as well. Some other groups that meet on a, relatively consistent basis. That could be other online groups or in person, like in your community there. And as I said, like we mentioned, maybe having a buddy system, share things with your, with a friend, that you're quitting there with. And then, kind of like we already mentioned, you might also, want to consider, connecting with a treatment professional, or a therapist. Some other therapist that offers, compassionate, non-judgmental support that goes beneath the addiction and addresses the issue that might have led to it. That's one thing that I'm here for, as well as other people if you want to meet somebody in person. Like, their understanding and insight, they often serve as a critical motivator for successful recovery. Like if you're a part, like of your own local church, I certainly would meet, with that minister and, get some help and encouragement from them, have them pray with you. Then whichever, path works best for you, lean on those who love you, people who have defeated a similar problem. You might take some advice from somebody, that was an alcoholic, maybe somebody that didn't vape, maybe that's somebody, who used to be addicted to alcohol or, or drugs, or other tobacco products like smoking or smokeless tobacco. They can certainly offer some encouragement. People that have gone through some similar addiction. Ask for support. Accept that support. Count your blessings, and life is going to start getting better. And so now we've got a number of assignments that we have here. Of course, we're going to show these things in the book, and then also, we'll give these things to people that don't have the book here that we have, that don't have the textbook. For those that do have the book, this is going to be on page number 166 in the Quit Kit. And the first thing there is, who is your quit team? Like we mentioned, name at least 5 people, who want you alive and want you to quit vaping. And, maybe you could get one of them, to be your quit buddy. So write those people down. Then if you might have a quit buddy, you can write that down as well. And then also write out a list of statements or questions that you want to hear from your quit team, and then share that list with them so that they know how to help. What do you want to hear from your quit team? For example, like they could tell you, I'm so proud of you. How can I help you kick your habit? What else would you help? What else would help you feel better? What else do you want to say? What else do you want them to say to you? Ask you. Write those things below. Write out some options there. And then also, an escape plan. If you need to avoid a vape-friendly social circle, develop an escape plan. The escape plan, I'm going to mention these things once again for those that don't have the book. If you need to avoid people who tolerate or encourage vaping, how are you going to do that? What are you going to say to them? Write your plan and the script, maybe for that sentence below. And then also create an activity list, to do with friends and family to help you avoid temptation, and then firmly schedule those activities. What activities, with family and friends will help you avoid the temptation to vape. Try to list at least 5 things, and then, make some concrete plans. To start to schedule a date and a time and a place to do them. So now here, once again, to go over that again for the people that don't have the textbook. Who is your quit team? Write out there 5 people, who can be your quit team, who are going to help support you, that want you to quit vaping. Write down 5 of those people, and then also jot down a quit buddy. Possibly, if you possibly have a quit buddy. And then what do you want to hear from your quit team? I'm proud of you that you're giving up vaping. How can I help you kick your habit? I'm going to be praying for you. What else might help you feel better, like other than vaping? Things that you want them to say, things that you want them to ask you. Maybe even like if you're tempted to vape and you tell that person, I'm really tempted to vape right now, they can say, well, do you want to live? Things of that nature. And then our escape plan, if you need to avoid people, who tolerate or encourage vaping, how are we going to do that? What are you going to say to them? Write out a plan, to avoid that group, if that's a group at school, for younger people, somebody on your place of employment, other people in the community, relatives, write out a plan, and then so write that down, try to put that in a couple of sentences, things that you're going to do to avoid that vape group. And then lastly, on our activity list, what activities with family and friends will help you avoid the temptation to vape? List at least 5 things. That could be something to do at home, with your family, like playing a board game, playing a board game, doing something fun, going outside, playing ball, playing with dogs, cats, whatever animals in the home, or like other things elsewhere, going to a bowling alley, going to play putt-putt, going to exercise, things that you might enjoy doing, like other than vaping, that are going to help you not to vape. And then also, lastly here, do the visualization exercises. I think that's something that we mentioned in our first or second day of our quit. So keep doing those. Actually, do those every day. You're supposed to be doing those every day. I know I didn't mention that particularly. It's in the textbook, but I know I didn't particularly mention that. But like I think we kind of first maybe mentioned that on the, like on the second day, I think is whenever we first started that. keep doing those like visualization things, like meditation. That certainly can include, prayer, a person of faith as we are. Prayer, spending time in the Bible, as well. Thinking about your friends, family, those, who want you to quit vaping, and so forth. So continue those visualization. Like exercise, as I said, we mentioned those on the second day. On the second day of our quit, that would have been vaping lecture number 9. I think, that would have been vaping lecture number 9, day 2 of our quit. Like, you can go back and look at that lecture there to get the things that we mentioned. Those visualization exercises, and that's on page 52 if you do have the textbook. That's on page 52. So then lastly here, looking at parental support for teenagers. Sometimes the best support is your time. Special activities are great, but spending quality time together can be as simple as exercising, going to church, going for a walk, working on a hobby, or, just being together. Like with those activities there, especially as a family, if you're a young person that still lives with your parents, or if you're married. Just be together. Whatever the activity, just do something, like with your teenager, the teenagers here that make life fun or more fulfilling. Quality time also means, being emotionally available. Your teen might not want to hang out with you, but that doesn't mean that they're not paying attention, because they certainly are. Show your love and concern, with a pat on the back, a hug, a smile, offer a sympathetic listening ear. Make sure that your child knows that you love them and that you aren't, sitting in judgment, and condemning them. Just practice, giving them some, devoted time there. And so that's all we have here today. And tomorrow on day 6, we'll be looking at defeat your doubts. So, be ready for that lecture, and we'll see you then. So I'll see you tomorrow for day 6. Until then, until the break in the shallows flee away, I'm Dr. Cooper, and I love you, and I appreciate you.